So you want to buy your first Geo tracker, but you don't know what to look for on these old dogs, huh? Well, today we're gonna show you the common issues and things you should look out for buying your very first tracker. A lot of people ask these questions, especially if they come straight to me and they're like, hey, what should I be doing? And today I'm gonna tell you what I would look for if I was buying a Geo tracker. So very first thing, especially in the Midwest, you want to look for rust. So first thing I do is I just walk up to a truck and I'm just like, well, would you just look at it? First thing I do is I just look at it and I'm just like, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at this, look at it, look at it. That's a rust spot. Oh, take $100 off right there for that. Oh, yep. Oh, look at this, look at that. And you just want to look it over, you know what I'm saying? Give it the old look over. So this vehicle here is it's kind of a middle of the road. It's not super clean, but it's not a rust bucket either. So it's a good presentation vehicle for this question that's commonly asked. So first thing, they like to rust out along the rocker panels here. This black plastic trim is a bad design, and it traps in all the moisture and snow and salt and everything. So some of the vehicles did not come with this black plastic. Those hold up much better, but if they do, you want to check them out. If it's not your vehicle, they're probably not going to let you just tear it off and look under there. So a lot of times I just give it the old nudge kick here. If a whole pile of rust comes down, you're in deep. Let me tell you what, you're not going to have no metal under there, so you're in trouble. And on the driver's side, the wiring for the fuel pump and tail lights and everything runs through the rocker panel, so it's crucial to have metal there. So this is number one spot I start looking for. The floorboards, you want to lift up the carpet, get your hands under there or crawl under here. Get a nice eyeball of that floorboard, because that's common. People ride around with no tops on, let that carpet get soaking wet and just sit there for a month or two. Forget about it. That floor is rusted out. That's garbage. You're in for trouble. Or you're gonna find some guy cut up a stop sign and self-tapper screwed it in there to make a makeshift floorboard. So now you know you're in for a hodgepodge, just a total mix-match vehicle. Price just went down, you know what I'm saying? So okay, so now we're still looking for rust. We're still just humming around the vehicle. Boom! This is where we're at, right down here. Another common spot. In the wheel well, this is where the rear seat belts mount. There's a bolt right here. You can tell, you can just start pushing on that and you'll see where, if this is rusty, you'll know. And that's where the rear passengers, the seat belts are mounted right there. So if that's rusted, which is almost rusted in all of them, to be honest with you, that yanks out the seat, forget it. Rear passengers, they're gone, dude. They're gonna be like, that was a nice ride in your tractor, man. Now I'm on the side of the road. So you don't want that, you know, at least you don't want to be the guy in the back if you are. So okay, we're still looking for rust on this old tracker. For this, you're gonna want to crawl under the vehicle. The support brace on the frame that holds the gas tank up, super common to rust out. I have a video posted a while back of replacing the cross member with a Schedule 40 piece of pipe to reinforce it. So you can check that out for bracing that up. But that's super common. If that rusts out, the gas tank's gonna tip like this. Really bad, but very common. So not the hardest fix. Again, not a deal breaker, but price just went down. Check it out. So okay, we're still looking for rust. We're gonna have our wonderful camera woman sweep around to this side, and we're gonna talk about strut towers. These are the strut towers. Actually, the strut towers themselves are actually part of the frame. So those hold up well, but on top, the two strut towers are actually part of the body structure. These like to rust, likes to get big rust holes under here from everything kicking up in the fender wells. And then this is the main fuse block. So if there's a big hole here and it's kicking up moisture and salt and everything, this gets corroded, big trouble. So you want to check out these two spots on the front fender wells for rust. And again, you find rust, price just went down. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so that's basically the main rust issues. The other thing I like to do, I like to get down into a squat like this and start checking my headlights. See that? This one's a good solid headlight. This is a good solid headlight. The frame for the headlights is plastic, so if anyone's hit anything in the past, this will wobble back and forth, and you'll know you need a replacement, the whole housing and everything of the headlight. So that's very common on these vehicles, easy to replace, but again, you find damaged headlights, price just went down. So okay, so now we got over some of the cosmetics. When you go to buy a tracker or any vehicle for that matter, you want to make sure the owner has the vehicle cold. You don't want to have a warmed up engine because they could be trying to fool you. You want a nice cold engine so that when you start it up, especially on these 16 valve engines, they like to burn oil, and they have valve seal issues, especially the higher mileage ones. So when you first start it up on a cold engine, you want to fire her up, run to the back of the vehicle and look for smoke coming out of the tailpipe. You see some smoke, you want to keep an eye on how long it takes to warm up and that smoke to go away. If it's a couple minutes, it's usually a valve seal issue on the engine, which isn't terrible, but at least you know what you're getting into. And like I said, if the engine's warm, the valve seals swell up and it won't smoke. So if a guy knows his engine is smoking, he'll probably have this thing revved up hot as hell when you get there and try and pass it by on you, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So next thing, same thing as any other vehicle, you want to pull your dipstick out, check your oil level. You want to make sure it's not milky, watery. If it is like a chocolate milk color, you'll know you have a bad head gasket issue. Someone overheated it, warped the head, who knows what, but obviously this one's got good oil in there, so you're gonna wanna check that. If the engine's cold, you wanna check your coolant. Don't check it when it's hot or it'll explode on you. Check all the fluids you can. Make sure they're at where they should be. If they're low and a guy's trying to sell you a vehicle, he's a bad seller, because I mean, how much, because then he probably didn't do maintenance on this vehicle, because at least he should have topped them off before he tries to sell it to you, so if anything's low, that's a red flag right off the bat. This guy ain't taking care of his vehicle, or price just went down. Can you hear me? Okay, so now we're talking about the engine. You looked it over. You want to check for any major oil leaks. Again, if there's massive oil leaking everywhere or sprayed up on the hood, again, this guy didn't do very good maintenance on this thing. So what else could be lurking? What else could be the problem? If you see butchered wires, if you see a hodgepodge of who knows what that shouldn't be there, giant red flag. This guy didn't take care of his vehicle. It's not really the vehicle you want to be buying. If you're desperate, sure, you can buy it, but you know what you're getting into. So those are all the obvious things with the engine. Obviously, you're going to test drive it. You're going to listen for squeaks and creaks and all the big noises. On the Geo Tracker engine, they're very prone to keyway damage, which I'm going to be making a video about very soon. You'll be wanting to check that out. But when the engine's running, you're going to want to look for the bottom pulley for a little bit of wobble. If you see a wobble going on, whew, the keyway is trouble, man. You need to, it's a little bit of a project to fix it. So price went down, or you might not even want to buy it, depending on your mechanical skills. So those are the main engine and rust components that we're going to look at. And now we are going to move on to the next step. Okay, 83 YouTubers. Now let's enter the interior of your Geo Tracker that you are trying to buy. The manual version's 5-speed stick shift. Very common of wobbly shifters. This one's nice and firm. I'm sure you've seen our video of how to repair the shift lever, but you want to check how much play is in the shift lever. that could be needing attention. Another crucial part is the clutch pedal. The clutch pedal itself is known to break on the shaft or the cable and the arm that holds the cable. Very common and very crucial to a smooth operating vehicle. So you're gonna wanna check your pedal for play sideways, up and down. When you drive it, you're gonna wanna check the same thing. And that's very common. So if you can crawl up under here and take a look at the cable, that's what you wanna do. So that's very crucial. Otherwise, other things in the interior, they're normally pretty solid unless guys were very rough off-roading or they were adding crazy radios and everything. So this is a 96 model. The older models, earlier 90s, this radio bezel, very delicate, very easily broken, easy to replace, but expensive. The radio or the heater vents are all delicate. If these are all broken, that's gonna cost you money to fix it, and you gotta factor that into what you're buying. So the window regulators, you're gonna wanna run them all the way down, run them all the way up, all the way down. When you're rolling them up, you wanna make sure the window's not cocking one side or the other. That's an obvious sign that the regulator's worn out. These bad boys are running smooth. So this thing's looking good. Anything else you wanna look on in the interior is more just cosmetic. Again, if things are all ripped up and damaged and dirty, that's an indication of who owned the vehicle and how they treated it. So if they didn't take care of it, you know what you're getting in for. So now we're gonna go to the next and the last step of what to look for on your geo-tracker. Okay, let me tell you something, man. Talking about soft top trim. This is a 95 through 98 model. If you guys don't know, you'll know now. This is all held on by black plastic. Very expensive parts to replace. I'm gonna make another video on a metal alternative to replace these very soon, which you guys are gonna be digging for sure, because it's badass. That's all I gotta say. It's a badass fix for this. But this is very expensive trim. This is what holds the top down tight to the vehicle. So if they let you, if the owner lets you take off all the top and inspect this, but if this top is flapping or they got duct tape all up on here, forget about it, man. They're trying to hide. Just don't. Price down. So here we go. You want to check the soft top trim, all that great stuff. But as long as all that looks good, you're solid. You covered the basics of looking over a geo-tracker. Again, get your test drive in. Try to lock it in, lock the hubs in, 4-wheel drive. Beat on it as much as they'll let you, and see how she runs. Otherwise, if you have more questions, be free to call me, 262-470-6425. Be happy to help you out, but these are the basics of what I would look over if I was personally buying a geo-tracker. And again, I also like to buy stock ones, no lift, no nothing, because then you know what you're getting and it wasn't beaten on, and then you can do your own stuff and beat on it yourself. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate all your following and dedication to the Highway 83 cause. So it's Miller time. You guys enjoy the rest of the videos and have a Miller high life. Come on, man. You know what I mean?